Got an online interview coming up? Not sure how to prepare? Keep watching to learn some useful do's and don'ts to help you perform at your best during an online interview. And stay tuned to the end to find out some bonus interview advice to help you succeed in online interviews. These days, many employers are conducting job interviews online. There are a few different platforms that employers may use to conduct an online interview. So what should you do to prepare for an online interview? As with any interview, you need to spend a sufficient amount of time preparing. This could include thinking about transferable skills, researching the job role and the company thoroughly, and preparing answers to some typical interview questions. Read the interview instructions carefully. If you need to download video calling software, make sure you do this before the day of the interview. Some interviews may require you to create and present a presentation. In this instance, familiarise yourself with how to set your preferences to share your screen to meeting participants. If the software or procedure is unfamiliar to you, arrange to make a test call with a friend before your interview. Thinking about your body language and use of gestures is important when preparing for an online interview. If you often use a lot of hand gestures when you speak, consider trying to minimise this so that it doesn't become distracting. Remember to have good posture. Sitting upright signals that you are alert and ready for the interview. It can also be easier to signal agreement by nodding rather than verbally agreeing in an online interview due to sound delay. It can be helpful to practice your setup before the day of the interview. You should consider what can be seen behind you, where the lighting is, and where the camera is positioned. Having a clear, streamlined background is a great way to appear professional during an online interview, so you should tidy away piles of unfiled papers or dirty clothes. If you have a background that is distracting, you can sometimes blur it, depending on the software that you use. Lighting is also important to consider. It's best for you to be lit directly from the front to avoid any unflattering or distorting shadows on your face. This can be achieved by sitting in front of a window or by positioning a lamp so it lights you from the front. To achieve a realistic impression of what you look like in real life, it is best to have the camera lens directly at eye level. You can achieve this by propping up a laptop on some books, but just be careful that they are secure and that they won't fall over during the interview. Just one more tip with your setup, it's important to consider how you will sound in your interview. Using a headset or earphones that have a microphone works really well, and it also ensures that the person interviewing you cannot hear themselves repeated back to them. There are some last preparations that you should do the day before your interview. Consider if the room that you have chosen to do the interview in will be quiet. Have you picked out and prepared a smart outfit ready to wear? If you're using a laptop, is it charged ready for the next day? And then the moment of truth. You are about to begin the interview. You are prepared and ready to prove why you are the right candidate for the job. Take a deep breath and remember to smile. Sit up straight, get in the zone, but make sure you relax. Remind yourself that the interviewer has seen something in your CV or your application that they like, and it's now your job to work as hard as you can in the interview to convince them that they need you to work for them. Good luck! Well done, you made it to the end of the video, so here are some bonus tips as promised. In the world of video calling, it is perfectly normal for both parties to ask if they can hear and see each other at the beginning of a call. This type of exchange can feel awkward, but can help pinpoint and sort out any technical difficulties at the beginning of an interview. If you've ever had a video call with your friends or your family, you know that there can sometimes be a delay between you speaking and your voice being heard. Make sure to factor in these delays by allowing a slight pause between the interviewer asking you a question and you answering it. This will help mitigate any issues that could be caused by connectivity problems and will allow the interview to hopefully run smoother. It can also be really helpful to write down some notes to help you remember key points that you'd like to mention during the interview. This is a bonus about online interviews. You can have a few short notes written in front of you that won't be seen on the screen. Just be careful to not read directly from the notes though, as if you're reading a script. You can also write down any points that are mentioned in the interview that you would like to come back to, or write down any questions that you think of during the interview. Good luck!